On their silver wedding anniversary, Naomi Sterling expected flowers, a dinner, perhaps even a quiet evening reminiscing about their shared years. Instead, her husband, Darren Price, handed her divorce papers in front of all their guests. 25 years is long enough, he announced coldly. I want someone young now. You need to be out of the condo by tomorrow. The guests froze. The air turned heavy. Darren seemed to have forgotten that the condo wasn't his to give away, it had been a wedding gift from Naomi's parents. His mother, Celeste Price, simply smiled in approval, her eyes glinting with cruel satisfaction. Naomi rose, her hand steady despite the storm inside her, and took the microphone. Thank you, Darren, she said softly, for reminding me that some gifts, like love, must be returned when no longer deserved. Then she set the microphone down, leaving the room in stunned silence. That night, long before dawn, Naomi awoke to whispers behind the bedroom door. Darren was on the phone with his mother. We have to do this right, his voice hissed. She won't suspect a thing. Of course not, son, Celeste replied. Naomi's blood ran cold. What were they plotting? And why now, just weeks before their anniversary? When Darren returned to bed, she pretended to sleep, her heart pounding. The next morning, Darren was unusually affectionate. Naomi, my love, he said, kissing her cheek. Let's pick a restaurant for our anniversary. I want everything to be perfect. Perfect. The word sounded foreign in his mouth. He had never cared about celebrations before. Naomi smiled faintly but said nothing. When he left for work, his phone lit up with a reminder, call S at 11 a.m. Who's S? She asked later, watering the plants. He flinched but recovered quickly. A colleague. Sanchez, from Seattle. Just business. A lie. His left eye twitched, the telltale sign. By noon, her heart was restless. Celeste arrived unannounced, as always, and began inspecting the condo as though appraising it for sale. Then she smiled that icy smile and asked, Naomi, dear, where do you keep the condo papers? I'm just thinking of the future, for Darren's nephews, of course. Naomi understood the hidden meaning. They were preparing for something that would strip her of what was rightfully hers. When Celeste left, Naomi opened Darren's computer. He'd changed the password for the first time in 25 years. But Naomi was clever. After several attempts, she tried their wedding date in reverse, and it worked. What she found shattered her. The search history was filled with legal queries. How to divorce when assets are shared. How to keep the condo in a separation. Tricks for property division. Her phone buzzed, her friend Candace calling. Naomi, I just saw Darren at a jewelry store with a young woman. Blonde, maybe 30. They were buying rings. Naomi felt her world tilt. Darren came home that evening with roses and chocolates, pretending nothing was wrong. She smiled through her pain. We'll talk about our future after the party, she said calmly. He agreed, not realizing those words sealed his fate. The next day, he left early again. When his phone rang, Naomi let the answering machine record it. Celeste's voice echoed through the kitchen. I spoke to Mr. Hayes. Everything can be arranged. Just make sure she doesn't suspect anything until the very last moment. Hayes, the supposed colleague from Seattle, was actually their divorce lawyer. Naomi trembled as she unlocked his phone using a date she guessed might belong to his mistress, March 8, International Women's Day. It worked. There it was. Sierra, my love, just a little longer. After the anniversary, the condo will be ours. Mom has already taken care of things. Naomi suspects nothing. Naomi copied every message. She was no longer the victim, she was gathering evidence. Then she called an old college friend, Aisha Cole, now a respected family attorney. Aisha listened carefully, then said, Naomi, they want to break you emotionally before the divorce. Don't let them. Collect proof. Move your funds. And most of all, don't let them know you know. For the first time in days, Naomi felt calm. She wasn't powerless. That night, Darren mocked her appearance. "You've let yourself go, Naomi. You're 50, but that's not an excuse. You could look younger if you tried." She smiled faintly, saying nothing. He didn't deserve her words. Later, she discovered he had withdrawn $30,000 from their joint account, her money funding his betrayal. But Naomi had a secret of her own. A week earlier, she had inherited her late aunt's fortune, over $3 million in real estate and savings. Darren knew nothing. The next morning, Naomi visited Mr. Perry, the lawyer who had helped them buy their condo. When he checked the original deed, he smiled. "Naomi, your parents' gift was made before Darren's name was added. Legally, it's your sole property." Naomi exhaled slowly, her heart lighter. "Could you prepare documentation confirming that?" she asked. "Of course," he said. "Come back tomorrow." When she returned home, a courier delivered her inheritance papers. The timing was poetic. She was no longer just a betrayed wife, she was an independent woman with the power to end this nightmare. That evening, Darren called again, brimming with false affection. "Naomi, I booked the ballroom at the Watergate for our silver anniversary. 100 guests. Everyone will see how perfect we are." Naomi smiled to herself. "Whatever you say, Darren." Later, Celeste dropped by, handing Naomi an envelope. "From me to you, dear. A free consultation with the best family lawyer, Mr. Hayes." Naomi held back a laugh. The very man plotting against her. "Thank you," she said sweetly. "How thoughtful of you." That night, Darren returned home reeking of expensive perfume. "Everything's ready for our big day," he said proudly. "It'll be unforgettable." Naomi looked into his eyes. "You're right, Darren," she whispered. "It will be unforgettable." And it was. At the anniversary party, under the crystal chandeliers of the Watergate ballroom, Darren took the microphone. "To my beautiful wife," he began. "After 25 wonderful years." Naomi interrupted gently. "Actually, Darren, may I say a few words first?" She smiled at the guests, her voice steady, warm, but laced with quiet steel. "I want to thank everyone for celebrating our silver anniversary. But tonight isn't just about love, it's about truth. 25 years ago, I received a condo as a wedding gift from my parents. It was meant to be our home. Recently, I discovered that my husband, his mother, and his lawyer were planning to take that home from me." The room went silent. Naomi continued, calm and composed. "But life is funny. I also learned that I've inherited properties worth over $3 million. So, Darren, you don't need to worry about me. I'll be fine, in my own home, my own life, and my own peace." She placed the divorce papers he had given her earlier on the table. "You wanted me out of your life. Consider your wish granted." Then she smiled, not with anger, but liberation. "Happy anniversary, Darren." The guests watched in stunned silence as Naomi walked out of the ballroom, her head held high. Outside, the night air was cool and clear. For the first time in 25 years, Naomi felt light. She wasn't a discarded wife, she was a woman reborn. And somewhere behind her, Darren Price finally understood what it meant to lose everything, not just his marriage, but the only person who had ever truly loved him.